Welcome back to bravesbirdsdfs, one of the best places for PGA, NFL, MLB, and NBA news, and of course, DFS. If you don't know by now, I'm Walt. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. So, spring training is almost over, so you know I had to make a baseball video. In today's baseball video, we are going to focus on the NL East. And I mean, on paper, the NL East looks like a beast. It is insane. So depending on which power ranking you look at or what content you're following, but in general, the average of the Mets, Braves, and Phillies are second, third, and fourth best teams in baseball. The order changes depending on what you're looking up, but that is insane. On paper, this is probably as good as the NL East has ever looked, but we know games are not played on paper. And we can't sleep on the Marlins and the Nats. I know you said, Walter, come on, quit playing. But in the past 28 years, the Marlins have more World Series than any other team in the NL East. They won in 93, they won in 2003. And both times when they won those World Series, they did not win the NL East. They were the wild card. So we can make fun of the Miami Marlins, formerly the Florida Marlins, all that you want, but they lead the NL East in the past 28 years as far as World Series. Now, if you expand it out to 30 years, they're tied with the Braves. Braves won in 95, the strike-shortened season. But, I mean, let's talk about the Nationals. Outside of the Braves, the Nationals are the team who has won the World Series most recently back in 2019. So once again, the Nationals are going to be a young upstart team. But while everybody's paying attention to the Mets, Phillies, and Braves, just pay attention to those Marlins and Nationals because you never know what can happen. You can have injuries. You can have a call-up. Pitching can overachieve, and the opposite for the Braves, Phillies, and the Mets. And let's talk about those Phillies. The Phillies have not won a World Series in 17 years. I know it seems like it doesn't even seem real because kind of like how the Braves are, they're always in the playoffs, but kind of like the Braves, they have a hard time closing the deal. So it's been 17 years since the Phillies have won a World Series. And then we have the Mets. The Mets have not won a World Series since the Bill Buckner, beating Bill Buckner, who just blew it. Mookie Wilson, Darryl Strawberry, Doc Gooden, Keith Hernandez, those Mets. 1986. A lot of people who are watching this video were not even alive the last time the Mets won a World Series. I can tell you, I was in kindergarten learning the ABCs. It's been a long time. And like the Phillies, the Mets have had some pretty historic and embarrassing collapses and underachievement since that 1986 season. It's just been a lot of the NL East is cursed in a way outside of the Marlins and the Nationals. And you know what? I guess you can say the Nationals are cursed because when they were the Expos, we know back in 1994 that the Expos, which Nationals were before they were the Nationals, they were in first place, and then the strike happened. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Expos would have won that World Series and stayed in Montreal. Who knows what would have happened? So I would say, the whole, and then we know everything with the Marlins. I'm going to say the whole NL East is cursed. But getting back to the big three in the NL East, there's so much pressure on the Marlins, on the Mets, Phillies, and Braves. They all have spent a lot of money. They're the kind of teams where if they don't win the World Series, I didn't say make the World Series. If the Mets, Phillies, or Braves, if they don't win the World Series, it's a failure. It is a failure. That is the kind of pressure that the players on all three of those teams are under. And that's just totally different. Yeah, because of what happened, if the Nationals make the playoffs, everybody in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, all the people in DMV are going to be happy, and they're going to be little puck pieces about how they turned it around quickly. And if the Miami Marlins, make the playoffs. It's just going to be like, what the heck? The Phillies, Braves, and Mets do not have that luxury. It is all or nothing. And that kind of pressure is the reason that why, even though on paper all three of these teams look amazing, we'll see what happens in real life. So let me know your thoughts. Leave comments, but otherwise, I'll talk to you next time.